According to new industry analysis, approvals for clean energy projects in Great Britain nearly doubled in a single year, reaching around 45 gigawatts of capacity. That's not a projection. That's paperwork turned into permission. On paper, Britain's clean energy future has never looked stronger. But energy transitions aren't built on paper. They're built on steel, copper, and grids that can actually handle the power. Most headlines talk about wind farms and solar panels, but the real surge in 2025 came from battery storage projects. Battery approvals almost doubled year on year, jumping from roughly 15 gigawatts to nearly 29 gigawatts. That matters because batteries solve one of clean energy's biggest problems: timing. Wind and solar don't care about peak demand, batteries do. This tells us something important. Britain isn't just building a clean energy, it's trying to stabilize it. And that's a major shift in energy strategy. Another surprise in 2025. Offshore wind approvals exploded. Projects approved this year jumped more than 7 times compared to the year before, from barely over 1 gigawatts to almost 10 gigawatts. After years of delays, legal battles, and rising costs, offshore wind is moving again. Not because it's easy, but because the UK doesn't have many alternatives at scale. The government is framing this as a turning point. UK Energy Secretary Ed Miliband argues these approvals are about taking Britain off what he calls the fossil fuel rollercoaster: volatile prices, geopolitical shocks, and imported energy risk. And politically, the timing matters. Developers are rushing to lock in approvals before tougher grid rules kick in, and before future local elections potentially change planning priorities. This isn't just climate policy, it's energy security politics. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Approvals do not generate electricity. Britain's grid was built for centralized fossil fuel power plants, not for thousands of decentralized wind, solar, and battery projects. Industry analysts at Cornwall Insight warn that grid bottlenecks are now the single biggest threat to turning this boom into real power. Projects are approved, funding is lined up, equipment is ordered, and then they wait, sometimes for years. In response, Britain's energy system operator recently made a dramatic move. Hundreds of projects were removed from the grid connection queue, so-called zombie projects that had planning permission but no realistic path to construction. The system is shifting from first come, first served to first ready, first needed, first connected. More than half of queued projects were cut, clearing space for roughly $40 billion worth of schemes, most likely to help hit the UK's near-zero carbon power goal by 2030. This is not bureaucracy. This is triage. Zoom out, and the UK is not alone. Across Europe, the same pattern is emerging. Record renewable approvals, massive battery interest grid, infrastructure lagging behind. Governments racing to modernize 20th century systems. For 21st century power, clean energy is no longer limited by technology. It's limited by wires, transformers, and political coordination. Right now, Britain's renewables pipeline looks stronger than ever. But without faster grid upgrades, smarter planning, and sustained investment, this boom risks becoming a statistic, not a transformation. The energy transition doesn't fail because we don't build turbines. It fails because we don't move electricity fast enough once they're built. Britain has approved the future. Now it has to deliver it. Because in the clean energy race, generation is only half the story. The grid decides who actually wins. Clean energy isn't failing because we can't build it. It fails when the grid can't deliver it. If you want real analysis, not hype, on energy, geopolitics, and the systems behind the headlines, subscribe to CleanTech Insider. This story isn't over, it's just getting started.